All right, welcome to week 4 of BAD-2700, Human Resource Management. Now, this week we're going to cover chapters 9 through 11. In chapter 9, we'll look at performance management and appraisal. This is an area that's both critical to the success of the business and the success of the individual employee. The most critical component of an accurate performance appraisal is the establishment of what must be done and to what level. What are you going to measure the employee against? Terms that are not appropriate in defining performance are good, satisfactory, or even better. If you define a performance requirement as must deliver good product quality, this is entirely subjective. What does good mean? And what does it mean to the employer or the employee? How does it vary from person to person? Now, if I change that same performance requirement to state must deliver a minimum of 20 units per hour with no more than one manufacturing flaw as defined in the manufacturing handbook per 100 units. This is measurable, and both the employee and employer know exactly what is required. In Chapter 10, we'll discuss building positive employee relations. Now, what do we mean by employee relations? What we're really talking about here is management that is engaged and in tune with its employees, that they understand the employee base, their needs and capabilities, and that they set an environment where employees feel valued. This is something that takes time to develop. It's not something that you can mandate or codify as part of the regulations. Now, lastly, this week, we're going to look at employee termination in Chapter 11. And I can tell you from personal experience that the act of terminating an employee is one of the most difficult things a supervisor has to do. As a human resource manager, your role in this process is to ensure that the process is fair and equitable across the organization, and that the company follows all legal and regulatory requirements. Now, why terminate an employee? So one reason can be to downsize. These would often be called layoffs. Another is for performance or a lack of performance. The difference between these two is that a downsizing is not the result of any lack of performance on the employee's part. A termination for conduct, behavior, performance, or breach of contract is the result of actions taken by the employee or actions not taken. So let's talk about the first category, downsizing. Now, why downsize? One, a company may need to trim the fat, as it were, to cut costs and be more competitive. They may also merge with another company or acquire a company. This often results in duplication in some positions, perhaps the finance, admin, or even human resource management department. It could also be the result of strategic decisions to eliminate a product line. Now, one of the critical issues a company has to concern themselves with is how the remaining employees will react to the downsizing, or what the impact will be on the morale of the organization. As you read through this chapter, you'll find a number of ways to deal with this issue. Now, be sure to pay particular attention to the legal elements involved in termination. Civil Rights Act of 1964, Equal Employment Opportunity, Family and Medical Leave Act, or FMLA, and the OSHA Whistleblower Protection Program. These all serve to protect employees from illegal or unethical actions. Now, employee termination as a result of their actions is referred to most often as a firing. This is typically a last resort when, based on performance, anytime an employee is terminated, that leaves a vacancy. And that vacancy, even if filled rather quickly, still results in a decrease in productivity for the organization. It takes time for a new employee to become accustomed to the organization, the job, and the process. However, when it comes to an employee's conduct, especially in severe cases such as abuse or violence, it's important to take action quickly in order to protect the other employees and the overall morale of the organization. Now, your activities for this week include reading chapters 9 through 11 and review the PowerPoints, the chapter 9 through 11 study plans and quizzes, M4A1, the chapter 10 performance appraisal training assignment, and the M4D1, chapter 11 employee termination discussion. Remember to have your initial post submitted by midnight Wednesday night. And as I've said in your feedback, use sources to support your writing, especially including our course material. Now, I also want to say something about the study plans and the quizzes. As I've reviewed these, oftentimes I see that some students are not completing all of the study plan activities or taking both chances on the quizzes. Take every opportunity you have to make sure that you get a good grade in this course. Now, I hope each of you has a great week. And as always, I look forward to seeing your work in this class. Thank you.